I don't know who needs to hear this, but a compliment should not include an insult. I'm not talking about it in the negging sense where you're disguising an insult as a compliment, though that also sucks, but rather when you say something negative about one person, maybe even yourself, so that you can positively compare another person to them. I see this kind of thing a lot nowadays, since my content has gotten more popular recently. While I am grateful that people appreciate my work, I find myself less grateful when the way they choose to tell me is by bringing either themselves or other content creators down. As a compliment receiver, I would much rather hear how you like me for what I'm doing right, rather than how I'm not doing something wrong. I am obviously not ignorant to the fact that sometimes you do like something because it is better than what you're used to. I have enjoyed a lot of shows for good representation, for example, when historically I haven't seen it as much as I'd like or had seen it poorly handled. Still, when discussing that good representation, I find it much more valuable to praise it for what it did right, rather than praise it for not screwing it up like all those guys over there did. The latter puts the focus on talking down to the other things rather than talking up the good thing, and while comparing and contrasting pieces of media isn't anything I'd call toxic, when we start talking about people, it starts getting a little harmful. A person's value is not at all a competition. Skill, creativity, thoughtfulness, kindness, determination, none of those qualities, or really any others, are finite. One person having them doesn't mean less opportunity for others to get them, and when we're talking about very subjective things like artistic merit, it's basically impossible to definitively measure who has the most or least anyway. You don't need to put someone else down in order to lift up someone else, especially not yourself. You should be trying to learn from the people you admire rather than telling yourself you can't learn from them. Nobody is perfect. Everybody has the potential to grow and improve. There is room up on top for everyone, but we can only get there if we lift each other up when we can.